Who are we playing? Vitaly Kunin. I I've definitely seen his games. Don't I don't think I've ever played him unless I played him in some kind of semi-anonymous settings on the internet. But I definitely know that player, and I've looked at his games plenty. Everybody play like crap. We can keep him here all night. Yeah, sort of, sort of. This is a kind of a risky approach. There's a lot of very sharp tactical things here that could happen. Bishop takes f3, I think, is not the most critical response to this line. I think both e5, d5, knight d4, and the immediate d6, d5 without taking on f3 are supposedly... Although maybe bishop f3, gf, d5 is something that... Yeah, this also exists. This is very funny because I actually prepared this for a game in the World Cup last year, or whichever year. And I obviously don't remember anything at all. Like, there's no way for me to remember anything at all here. I spent maybe an hour with machines preparing this. I was playing a young kid from Mexico, I think, in the first round of the World Cup, and he played this line. He played this line more than once even, and I thought there was a decent chance I could get this position if I played bishop b5 against him. And I thought this position was good for white. So I spent the morning studying it. And then he played d5 instead of g5, I think. And we played a very interesting, very sharp tactical game, which was very, very unclear for a long time. And then my opponent missed some important tactical detail somewhere and lost. Why did I play knight c4 here? What is my response to b5? What am I doing? So many questions. Maybe I'm supposed to now play d5 and pretend all of this was planned. But it really wasn't. That was a blunder. If this actually ends up working out, I'm very lucky. The idea here is, of course, I have queen a4 there. And the knight on c6 gets picked up back. Picked back up. Now I have a very strong passer on c6. I'm quite happy about this position because, yes, my kingside remains kind of ruined, but like all the endgames will be winning for me pretty much. So it's a lot easier for me to steer a position like this towards something that I will like. Yeah, not a Mexican, a Cuban. Yeah. I'm sorry, Alexa boy. It was exactly against Cabrera. That was a fun game, and the final position is quite picturesque. I think I would like to take on c4 with the queen to immediately create a threat of c7, but like d5 bugs me. Bishop takes c4 is not horrible. Rook b1 is not horrible. Many things here make at least some sense. I don't know about this move. It doesn't feel right, but I'm trying to kind of, improve my eventual queen takes c4. But for instance, knight h5 right now is a move that I probably should not have allowed. That exchange sacrifice looks very, very thematical. Yeah, that's well played by my opponent. The c-pawn remains very, very strong, so I suspect I'm still doing okay, but hang on a second. Maybe I'm supposed to play c7 first. Not 100% certain. I'll take for now. Yeah, I've ruined my position completely. He can go rook c8 now. I am... Yeah, okay. That is just so horrible. That position was much, much better for me, and now who knows who is better. Oof. Yeah, bishop d4. Like, starting from bishop d4, my play has been very, very poor. I will, I guess, end up winning on time, and maybe it's not even going to be on time, because I think maybe I'm better regardless. Uh, but yeah, I should have won that game a lot cleaner than what will end up happening. How do we finish this off? Yeah, that was interesting, but we could maybe, like, as a final roundup, we could talk about this a little bit. As I said, queen takes c4 was my original intention. But yeah, I was worried about d5, and I couldn't really figure out how I'm supposed to reply to this. Maybe queen c1 is quite strong or something, but I wasn't really sure. I was trying to calculate something like this, but knight takes e3. For a second there, I thought this is winning, but then I spotted knight b6, or even knight d6 actually. No, I think I'm done taking challenges online school rocks. I think that's probably the end of the stream. After we've stopped talking about this game, and yeah, allowing knight h5, very well played by my opponent for spotting knight h5. But even here, if we look at this position, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to play c7 here. Queen d7, rook a1, rook c8. Although the knight gets to... Maybe not. Maybe actually after knight g7, the knight gets to e8. Yeah, I know there's computer analysis, but all of you guys can actually switch on the computer analysis and, you know, check out what the first line says. I'm trying to, you know, give you an overview of sort of what I thought during the game and what I think looking at this position right now, which, you know, it's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot more mistakes in what I'm saying compared to the computer analysis. But on the other hand, you know, this is something I can provide which is not normally available. So there's some value in that. Yeah, and yeah, not taking on a6 here immediately, of course, is a huge mistake. But what happened here is I thought I can go rook b7. I thought I was creating a threat of rook b7, which is unstoppable. And when we got here, I realized black just takes on c6. So yeah, once I blundered this this type of position, I thought I thought I was better, but actually, as we were getting here, I realized just how annoying the move knight e6 here is, because I can't play king e2 because of knight d4 check. Knight d4 in general is a threat, and once the knight lands on c5, it's just going to be very difficult to come to with the king on b4. Like I need this king already on b4. And this is another reason why, of course, rook b1 is a horrible blunder, because if I take on a6 here, let's say black goes rook c8, first of all, I can even maybe hang on to the pawn. But also, if I just play a4 here, we get the kind of a position we got in the game, but black is not in time to blockade the pawn on the a file. But then my opponent, for a number of moves in a row, continued not blocking my one important plan in this position, and yeah. This is already an unpleasant endgame. Maybe it's still holdable with best play, but I'm not entirely sure. It might be actually objectively lost. And yeah, once we get here, like it says a6. A6 is like an actual huge blunder, because rook c7. I did not see rook c7. Yeah, I should never have allowed this because obviously, if black establishes some kind of a blockade with rook c7, king a7, I don't know how I'm ever winning this game again. So yeah, not playing rook c6 here is a huge big mistake. And then the favor was returned with allowing me to play king b6, and I'm back to being completely winning.